Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Today we're taking a look at messages from your childhood imaginary friends, aka your spirit guides when you were a child. So, please take a deep breath, drawing your energy up your spine to your crown, and as you exhale, allow the energy to come all the way back down through the root chakra, down your legs, and into the earth. Please take a moment to select your pile. On the left, we have the couscous possum with the hessonite crystal. Group number 2 in the middle, we have the platypus with the larimar crystal. And on the right, group number 3, we have the bustard with the unakite crystal. As always, the timestamps to your reading or readings will be listed below in the description box, as well as any other information you might want from me. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly am so grateful for you, and I will see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, namaste, group number 1. If you selected this couscous card with the hessonite crystal, then this is your reading from your childhood friend. I did begin your reading already, and they wanted to re-begin this by saying that they are sorry. They're saying that they needed to show you some things as a child in order to prepare you for your journey that no one deserves to see, especially at that young of an age. Now with number 13, this indicates seeing beyond the veil, and couscous with calmness, and especially the hessonite crystal. Now, hessonite rules the channel between your solar plexus, heart, and throat, and is largely ruled by the air element. It is a little bit spicy. Some people call it the cinnamon stone. And it rules abundance in health and wealth. It also rules your respiratory health. Now, this guide is showing me that, especially with couscous and calmness here, you needed to have certain energies shown to you early so that you could normalize them, so that you could take a stand later in life. They are saying that you are very, very psychic. You are a very psychic child. You are a very strong medium. And whether you have healing abilities or magical abilities, spiritual gifts, you were very much aware of this as a child. This energy is saying that they do not connect with beings in and around our realm very often, but they needed to connect with you. This energy used to latch themselves on to if you had like a teddy bear you slept with when you were younger, or a blanket you carried around everywhere, or perhaps bath toys for some of you. Something that was very calming and soothing for you. This energy feels fuzzy, and they're showing me Casper the Friendly Ghost. So this energy was, it would have approached you in a feeling of a child, someone around your age, someone who would make you feel comfortable, seen, and at home. And they would show you with love and explanation some harsher truths of either the world, some of the workings of the system, different religions, different governments, or perhaps even past or parallel lives of yourself, or generational karma or difficulties. Now, this energy wanted to start off with an apology because you did not deserve that. However, you incarnated here with the intention of helping others grow and heal and find calmness through chaos. This energy helped you to normalize the chaos that may have occurred around you, or perhaps in your home as you were a child. Maybe you got bullied at school, or maybe there was a lot of conflict in your home, or maybe you had some difficult thoughts or experiences as a child. This energy was around you, and it was definitely acting as a safety blanket, a security blanket, a sense of calmness for you. If you have had recurring nightmares when you were a child, this energy was there to help you work through them and process them so that they did not torment you as an adult, so that you could come to grow and understand them and release any of this energy so that you can grow through it and spend most of your life unchained to this. Now, Queen of Cups and the Four of Wands, this energy wants to come through again now. And they want to help you to love your life and to celebrate. You see a lot that others do not see, whether this has to do with mediumship or toxic patterns of society. You are able to see through a lot, and you're able to make your home, they're saying, a home in hell. And again, they're saying this isn't something that that you deserved, or something that they wanted to show you. But they're saying they needed for you to see the devil eye to eye so that you could know how to conquer him. And they're saying this is a heavy burden. You likely always felt very mission-oriented when you were a child, or knew that you were here for a larger purpose. You likely dealt with escaping a lot of manipulation or conflict or addiction, or witnessing others experience this in your past lives. You likely needed to, or your childhood, you likely needed to cut off a lot of people that refused and were incapable of being there for you in the ways that you needed and required as a young child. This spirit guide is saying that they helped raise you. When you didn't know you needed to eat, you had an empty stomach, you didn't know why you were sick, this energy asked you to go to the kitchen and fill yourself, or to drink some water, or to go outside and get some fresh air. This energy would never, ever, ever harm you, and they love you very, very much. When you were a child, they're saying you did not know this energy by its true name, but you did have a name for it, and it's saying that it will answer to that name if you remember it and wish to approach it again by that, but it's ready to reapproach you again with its real name. And it's saying do not be afraid. They're with you, and they want to help you grow in love. So let's see, what message, group number 1, does your childhood imaginary friend have for you? They want you to know that they also see the deception of those around you that you see and feel alone in. You are not. You are not. You have the Star, the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the Fool. This is beautiful energy, you guys. Group number 1, your childhood spirit guide friend wants you to know that there are some things that you wanted really badly when you were a child, and you are on the brink of experiencing all of those things and so much more. They want you to know that you've done a phenomenal job of dealing with your family, whether this is the family that you've grown from or the family that you've built. They want you to know that you have done such a beautiful job of growing like a sunflower through the cracks of a sidewalk. You are a lotus that grew from the mud. They're very, very proud of you for speaking your truth and asserting your boundaries, and for following the magic when other people told you it didn't exist, when in reality, your existence in and of itself is a magical miracle. We have 10-10 here. You have finally broken cycles that you have planted yourself in your particular family line to break. You were not... This karma, these curses, never belonged to you, your soul's lineage, any particle of your energy at all. But you still chose to show up and carry the burdens of others. This energy sees you, and they want you to know that they have a little bit of a bite to them when it comes to people that try to mess with you. This energy has been not in direct contact with you for a while, but they have certainly been in contact with your ancestors and a few of your actual spirit guides in order to make sure that they're staying on their toes to make sure that you are well taken care of. This energy feels very, very protective of you, as a parent is supposed to feel of a child. They're saying that this energy visits you sometimes through animals in your surroundings. Sometimes it's visited you as a spirit of a child, or sometimes it likes to come stand in the mirror behind you while you are brushing your hair or braiding your hair or trimming your beard. And if you are an energy worker, if you resonate with having healing hands or having the capacity to heal others since you were a child, this energy would like you to know that they taught you this when you were very, very young. Now, this of course is a skill that you've had in other lifetimes for most of you, but this energy almost raised you. They taught you how to be a human. They taught you how to incorporate your magic, how to see beyond the veil. They taught you that you could fly if you have faith. They taught you that you could heal if you have faith. And they taught you that if you close your eyes and you breathe and you tune everything out around you, there will always be peace within, calmness. This energy has watched you come to a crossroads lately. And they're watching you thrive through this chaos, although they'd like to mention the fact that you don't deserve to experience chaos. And they'd like to help you release these burdens now. They're showing me somebody who is going, and it's out of survivalism. Even though you no longer have the need to merely survive, you have the opportunity now to thrive. They would like to re-enter your life with your permission as a frontline spirit guide, but because in the past they needed to show you some energies that would have caused you a lot of pain as a child, they needed to show you these truths because they were loyal to you. But this also brought a great deal of pain to see these hard truths. So, when you asked them to leave, they left. They are asking for you to open up your energy to them again. And they're saying that they have no more harsh truths for you to see that you have not already walked through by yourself since this energy has departed. This is why they have not been on the front lines for you on your spirit team, but they have been around to make sure that those who are protective of you, treating you correctly, and making sure that you get a couple extra blessings in your way. This soul has not known you before, but they've watched you from afar in other lifetimes. And they are honored to have even contacted you. They would like to draw your attention to a masculine energy in your life. And they're saying that they have watched this energy grow. And that there are some messages that this energy can translate for you. So take that however it resonates. They're saying that likely you will not understand that message now, but you will receive a download or a message with faith that you'll get clarity later. You will come face to face with this energy, and then they will reiterate what you had learned in a way that you're able to understand it. You will have full circle perspective. This energy will likely not know that that is what they're providing you with. Now they're showing me Santa Claus. This energy wants to give you gifts. They want to bring manifestations in for you that they think that you deserve and should have gotten by now. And they're saying that if they were on the front lines of your spirit team, a lot of blessings would have come your way already. And they're almost a little bit frustrated that things haven't been going your way in the way that you would have asked for them to. I'm hearing them say, I have a bone to pick with some of the spirits on your team right now. Because a lot of what you've been doing, King of Swords, with the Ten of Cups, it's been for the greatest good of all, the Star, Aquarian energy, humanitarian, your friends, your family, having faith that what goes around comes around, more or less. If you help others, you'll help yourself. It's in giving that we receive. And the spirit guide is saying you deserve so much better than the cards you've been dealt. And they know this. They're saying they have a little bit of a bite and they're not afraid to use it, which is cute, but that's also why they've chosen to present themselves to you in an unthreatening, youthful, and very calm energy today. This is a portal to what really lies inside of the spirit. And they're drawing my attention to 2 birds. They're not looking at each other, but they arrived together. There's an energy of you feeling like there's more out there for you, feeling like there's a community out there for you, or somebody that understands you or has grown with you or at the same pace as you, or is able to see things the way that you are, see through the veil, or something like this. There's something about searching for home and allowing yourself to create a home in hell. And this energy says that you don't deserve that. And they see that you see how everything is connected. And so you give everything and everyone all the time the benefit of the doubt, and you love them anyway. And you continue to send out your wishes to the universe and stay humble and sweet and kind and have faith and stay loving and put hard, good old-fashioned work in, speak your truth, assert your boundaries. And they still wish that you would take less crap. Now, couscous, this animal is like a type of possum. And they're a bit sloth-like. They're kind of like a possum, sloth, and a koala, if it had like a cute little fluffy baby. And that's how this energy is presenting itself to you. But notice its claws, notice its grip. Nothing gets past this animal. And it does move slowly. It's drawing attention to lethargy versus calmness. And you're very much aware that you have pinpoint accuracy in everything that you do. And some people might not understand the way that you have faith, but it's because you know where you're led and you know where you're guided and you know that everything is connected. And you see way more than the people in your life do. And this is why you have such firm boundaries. You are aware that while there might not be, while right and left might be relative to one another, truth is something that is never relative. You see truth. And this is something that most beings in this realm are not capable of or choose not to see. Okay, they'd like me to switch decks, so I'll use this one. So this is the Light Seers, this is the Animal Dreaming Oracle, and I'm pulling out the Hermetic Tarot for you. They're saying it's your time to shine, but they also want you to rest. Childhood imaginary friend of group number 1, what do you want to say to them? I want you to know that they love you, you are loved, and that they still see you as that sweet, innocent little child. It's like, they're showing me 2 images. They're showing me a cute, innocent, sweet little wonderful child with so much love and purity in its heart. And they're showing me also a warrior who's just come out of war with blood and scratches and wounds all over them, carrying their weapons, just eyes like a hawk. Like you wouldn't believe what they've seen. And this energy is showing me them reapproaching you now as this warrior archetype, and just gently touching your cheek and drawing back to that inner child, saying, remember when things were pure? Do you remember when you never had to see or go through any of that? And yes, it made you who you are. Yes, you've healed your wounds, but you still deserve better. And so this energy would like permission to re-enter your life, to they're saying make damn sure that you get better. They're saying it's about time that you go home, whatever that means for you. What came out here? Knight of Pentacles. Now this wanted to hide itself a little bit. There are some things that you're working towards that you cannot necessarily share with others. They're saying that you may have a lack of trustworthy people around you at this time, but know that this is ending. Yes, you are on to bigger and better things, and soon you will get to share your story with people who believe you and want to listen. Soon you're going to be taking the next step forward. You're going to be feeling like you're at home, and you're going to help others feel this way too, but not out of obligation, not out of survivalism. Four of Wands with the Three of Swords, out of transmutation. You're about to enter into a relationship, group number 1. And this spirit guide has been in touch with their spirit team as well. Now, regardless of who you are, this might be a new friend. This could be a romantic partner. This can be... They're saying that this is certainly someone in the physical realm. Okay? They're showing me the book of Daniel in the Bible. We have Four of Wands. Wow, with the Lover and the Star coming out again. I'm hearing, when you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. So we have Queen of Swords with the Nine of Wands, Princess of Pentacles. We have Queen and King of Swords. This is going to be somebody who has fought a battle akin to yours. This is going to be somebody who understands where you came from, never makes you speak on it, and will always understand, listen, and believe you when you do choose to, if you choose to. Now, we have again Three of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune. Oh man, you've done this all alone. All alone. This energy wishes that they could have been there for you. They wish they could have taken burdens for you. They wish they could have made things easier for you, but before you got here, you were the one that asked to take on these burdens. You needed to go through this so that you had the lessons, you had the tools in your belt to fight this war that never belonged to you in the first place. And that's why it's time for you to relax, release. They're showing me somebody who's been running on autopilot for so long that they're almost, it's time for them to stop. They passed the finish line, but it's like you forgot how to stop running. And so this energy wants to come back into your life and just ask you to breathe, ask you to rest, ask you to vacate, however you choose to vacate. They're aware that you've experienced a lot more hurt and pain than the average person, and no, it's not a competition. Comparison is the thief of joy, but you have experienced a lot more than the average being in this realm, and you've been through it. And now you guide others through that as well. And you are quite successful at it. You're able to... You being in this realm alone has helped to reset the scales. And because of this, you're going to be met where you're at with somebody who wants you to drain your nervous system, with somebody who sees that you deserve the best and genuinely, authentically wants to give that to you and knows how. You're showing me two people with the same love language, or with the same truth, or with the ability to see the same things, or someone with the same home, however that resonates for you. You do have a lot of beautiful things coming your way, and they want you to stop doubting that this is true. You deserve to receive love. You deserve to receive validation for these truths that you and you alone have, these truths that you have carried all by yourself, with others consciously and purposefully denying you to your face, even though they knew the truth as well. They're showing me, trigger warning, just so you know, they're showing me somebody getting abused. I'm not going to get descriptive with it, but they're showing me somebody getting abused and going and asking for help. And Everybody pretending that they don't see what they clearly do see. And the abuser saying, oh, I would never do that. Even though, like, an entire town has watched this be the case. The spirit guide has wept for you. They have absolutely wept for you. And they're saying that there's a large amount of money that they've put aside for you in the physical realm so that you can have a new beginning, or you can put this all behind you. You can live your spiritual truth, and you can receive that love that you were taught that you didn't get to have, because this is not true. You are re-walking through similar energy patterns. This is not a karmic cycle. This is merely energy is cyclical, and you are walking through the same pattern, or not your pattern, but pattern of energy. Think like transits, or root chakra and then root chakra again. Like, you're just walking through the same energy, okay? But this time there's no difficulty. There's no stone left unturned. There's nothing that you're not seeing. You have been on the other side of this energy for a long time, but cyclically you are reapproaching it, but you're reapproaching it without the burdens on your back. And it's almost causing stress, like uncalled for stress. Well, absolutely justified, but this is, I guess, to put an analogy behind it, say you fought a battle on a battlefield and the war has been over for a long time, but you reapproach this battlefield. So you might feel a little bit skittish, even though the war is over. That's why this energy is reapproaching your life now. They're saying it's safe. You are safe. You are loved. You are deserving of love. And they're saying that they have been whispering in another's ear about you, gently, lovingly, kindly, preparing for you to enter their life or for them to enter yours. They want you to know that they are personally responsible for bringing this together, and that they have presented you with either visions of this energy, dreams of this energy, or some sort of connectivity with this energy when you were a child. And it was something that helped you feel your safe space when you didn't actually have one in the physical realm. Now, this safe space is entering your physical realm, and it's not too good to be true. It is a gift that was well orchestrated by this guide of yours, and they love you so very much, so very much. They can't even emphasize it. They don't even guide people in this realm, but they made sure, I'm hearing made damn sure, like the song, okay? They made damn sure to show up for you, and they want you to know how special that is. They see that you are more comfortable in your feminine energy, in your throat, pineal gland, and crown chakra. And they're saying that it's time to speak up, time to speak out, but there's no need to defend yourself anymore. It's time to feel safe and use your voice for pleasure. It's time to use your abundance for pleasure. Use your health for pleasure. Allow yourself to be happy and confident and experience abundance and health and wealth and joy, not because you needed to store them for winter or for a rainy day. This spirit guide loves you so very much, and they're so blessed to reapproach your life if you will have them. And they are making sure that you know, without doubt, that they are respecting your boundaries, respecting your decisions, and would not dream of getting close to your energy unless you personally welcomed them in. They keep showing me like Casper the Friendly Ghost, or kind of like a fuzzy, cute, sweet little white, like, just fluff ball. Okay. And that's actually very similar to the couscous here. You are about to realize some truths. Oh, there's the Fool again. Oh, and the Empress. Okay. They're saying side note. Okay. This energy has done some bidding on your behalf. They're saying the past few days, especially behind your back. And they're saying that if they would have asked you if they can serve up some of this karmic justice, which they believe is fair and just, you might not have allowed them to because of the love and purity in your heart. But when that love and purity of yours learns of some justice that's been served out to those in your life who have been mistreating you and perhaps gaslighting you the past few days especially, know that this energy is responsible for, they're saying hooking it up, okay? They're saying don't be mad, and don't feel bad about thinking that they deserve it either. They're saying they're saying no harm, no foul. They're saying no harm has come to anyone. Just situational disadvantages is what they're saying, okay? This energy does not seem to be neither overtly light nor dark. It seems to be in a space in between. And only you are going to know who this is for you. But they want you to know that you can trust them. You've always been able to trust them, and that if there's ever a shadow of a doubt, they will back off. And with your permission, they would love to take the front lines on your spirit team again. And they send you lots and lots of hugs and kisses and fuzzy, warm heart, inner child healing. They're going to be giving you a boost to your health. They're going to be giving you a boost to your abundance, to your joy, and to your ability to speak comfortably. You might notice that you feel a little more socially comfortable in the next coming days. You might feel that you come across some more money or an opportunity to fulfill a wish of yours in the upcoming days. They're really nodding, all excited for that. We have the star out here twice. Know that this is a present from this energy, and it's a just because present, but you know that you deserve all of these beautiful things. They're showing me the number 6, so they're saying that these things are arriving at your doorstep right now or any day now, and then it will change your everyday life. This will be an amount of money that's enough for you to put aside for an investment, or the amount of money that you need to move, or this will be a relationship that changes your life. This will be that job that you've wanted. This is going to be something that allows you to help yourself. They're showing me somebody crawling out of a hole in order to be on level ground with everybody else. And this is going to be like you're crawling out of a hole while everyone else is climbing up a hill. And this is going to be like leverage to get you from the ground to the top of the hill. So don't think that this isn't fair. You deserve this. And they're really excited for you to unwrap this present. And they're saying this present is really excited they're saying meet you too. So this can be a person, this can be money, this can be an opportunity that leads you to a person or money. And they're saying wink. And they're indicating that there is a special soul, a person grounded, incarnated here right now, whether this is a coworker, a peer, a romantic partner, or a friend. There is somebody special out there that is very, very excited to meet you. And this energy saying, we've been getting them warmed up for you. Something about flying by the seat of your pants, okay? You get to calm down. And they're saying take a bath. Take a bath. Relax. Nurture yourself, baby yourself right now. You deserve it. You're beautiful. You're amazing. And this guide really just loves you so, so very much. Again, they're saying they don't just show up for anybody. In fact, they don't show up for anybody at all. But they do show up for you. And they've shown up for this one other special soul that they only showed up for because they were so excited to share how amazing and perfect and special you are, group number 1. So that is all I have for you, group number 1. That was just so touching for me. I don't know about you guys. Wow, okay. This was a channeled message to you from a childhood spirit guide / imaginary friend of yours. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Namaste. Hi there, group number 2. Namaste, and thank you so much for being here today. So, we are taking a look at channeled messages from your childhood spirit guide / imaginary friend. Now, you selected the platypus with the women's wisdom, as well as this beautiful Larimar. Now, there's something here that is very fragile, but they're telling me that you and them are exactly the opposite. Now, there's something here about, they're saying emotional density in your ability to flow. They're showing me an infinity sign. Okay, they're also showing me the movie The Neverending Story. And they're saying that these are both water element, but it's interesting because they're saying it's more so the color blue than the element of water. Oh, okay. So this is a spirit guide that has helped you to, they're saying, conquer the depths of emotions. So they were with you very strongly as a child, and they come and check in with you every now and then. They may be around you strongly right now. Also, platypus. This is a very interesting creature. There might be something about the spirit guide that is quite rare in the form that it takes, or there's something about it that indicates perhaps like a master healer or some sort of very, very strong archetype. Now, the platypus here is the Women's Wisdom card, which is quite interesting because this guide has a very strong, like, either neutral or masculine energy. I'm feeling more so that your intuition... Oh, okay. This is a very ethereal or very intuitive guide, okay? But it feels very masculine, very almost ferocious in form. Okay, but it loves you. This is showing me like they're showing me like a cat purring and kind of brushing up against your leg. It loves you, and it's so very, very happy to connect with you. This guide is, they're saying that they're glad that you're gentle. There's something here that indicates that you've had the opportunity not to be, but that you are. They're saying you've remained soft, and that takes the most strength of all. And they mean this in the best way possible. This guide is coming through to compliment you, and they want you to know that your ability to see, to perceive the intentions of others, even while they are hurting you, or while they're hurting your feelings, you don't take things very personally. You allow yourself to feel the depths of your emotions, and you see the beauty in them, but they're also saying that you, like a tiger or a dragon, are absolutely ferocious. Now this is interesting. So this creature, I said creature, okay, this might be like a mythical creature type of spirit guide that was with you as an imaginary friend. They're saying to me, like fairy, leprechaun, dragon, mermaid, something like this. So there's definitely a mystical energy here. This energy connected you to, they're saying the fairy realm or like the magical realm or something like this. And it allowed you to have full clarity about what was beyond the world that you're currently living in, so that you could actually understand the world more. Again, they're showing me, they're singing to me the song, The Never-Ending Story. Da, 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 da. Okay, and then they're showing me the Empress from that movie, which is interesting because that's, of course, a tarot card, the Empress. And this is another female archetype. This guide... Oh, okay. So this energy works in conjunction with another one of your spirit guides. That is a feminine archetype, but this one is almost the protector. It's like this one that was around you as a child. They almost, they were like a stand-in, a very strong masculine type archetype for this new feminine guide. Not newer. It's not new to you now, but it almost stepped aside and allowed the softness, the gentleness of this feminine guide to take the forefront. It's like this led you ferociously to the depths of your emotions and back. And now that you've seen the entire spectrum, it almost swapped itself out for this beautiful, more gentle energy that is soft, like this Larimar. Very intuitive, very expressive, very creative. Simultaneously, now you get to enjoy and peacefully experience the ups and downs of the day. And you might be a little bit, maybe not numb to your emotions, but they might be a little bit less, you might experience less of a frequential difference between your like higher and lower vibrational emotions at this point. because they're saying you hit quite a rocky point at some point. And so now the highs don't seem so high and the lows don't seem so low. But there's almost this energy of this guide wanting to come back in and check with you because they want to see if you need a little bit of extra oomph. They want to see if you, they want to see how you're managing your day. They want to make sure that you are allowing yourself to enjoy your day, to express yourself in your day. And they want to make sure with this Women's Intuition card and the Larimar here, it's like they almost want to make sure that you are, yes, taking time in your day for yourself and allowing yourself to breathe and enjoy the life that you're living, not just bear it or experience it out of obligation. This energy, it's interesting. They're coming through and they almost feel like they want to give you a bit of a stern lecture, but it's about having compassion for yourself the way that you have compassion for others. It's about standing up for yourself the way that you would stand up for others. It's about speaking the truths that you know others refuse to see or speak when you know that everyone's better off for it. They're saying, what happened to that warrior? Because it's within you and it shows up for everybody else. Now, I would like more of a gentle message, especially with this women's wisdom in the Larimar. And they're saying that you have a way of expressing harsher or more stern truths and messages in a soft and gentle, loving way. And with 24, it's like you have seen the entire spectrum of emotions. You've seen, for some of you, you've seen every corner of all of the realms. Only take that if it resonates. For some of you, you have really, really seen a full circle or spherical perspective of everything that you've decided to tap into. You may also be opening up clairolfaction as well. Psychic smell. Yes. This guide would like to say, wow. Okay, they're showing me TY and they're showing me puss. They're saying they're saying thank you for how far you've come. Thank you for standing up for yourself, especially for standing up for others. Thank you for incarnating in this realm and for being the fierce, beautiful, amazing, strong warrior, priest or priestess that you are. And at the same time, they're saying, now is not the time to be a platypus. Now is not the time to be a platypus. They're saying that you are so strong. You are so fertile. You're so abundant. You have the capacity to, they're saying, move mountains. And you know this. You're very much aware of this. And there's almost this energy of like you getting tired before you reach the finish line. And this guide wants to come back up and give you that nudge. They want to give you that nudge that you need. And they're showing up and they're saying, show your teeth. Don't be afraid to show your teeth. You know, and everyone knows. This guide knows, everyone that you know knows that you would not show your teeth unless it was out of necessity and out of pure love and intention. So don't be afraid to show your teeth. Don't be afraid to show your teeth. This guide is saying that if they had a physical vessel, they would have been a lot meaner to some of the energies in your life that are still in your life than you have been. They would have stood up for you. They're showing me perhaps energies that are bullying you or making fun of you, teasing you, or just not giving you the benefit of the doubt when it was them who in fact were misbehaving. This energy wants you to stand strong in your ferocious and masculine energy. And they're saying that you are beautiful, you are soft, you are kind, you are amazing, you are gentle. And you can also be ferocious. You can also have a bite. You deserve to stand up for yourself. Now, this energy is saying they used to travel with you a lot in the dream realm. This energy may have trained you in lucid dreaming or astral projection or quantum leaping, timeline jumping when you were younger, when you were a child. This energy has shown you manifestation, and they have been with you in many, many lives. This seems very much like a spirit or totem animal. I say that with the utmost respect. I'm just saying what I am experiencing. This feels like a totem animal or familiar that has been with you in many, many lives. And I feel like the term familiar is a little bit diminishing for the strength of this energy. This energy has made sure to be with you across several incarnations. And this definitely feels like your right-hand man, your right-hand spirit guide. They've taken a bit of a step back as you've allowed yourself to soften up and relax and almost rejuvenate a little bit, but they don't want you to buckle in any area of life. They keep showing up every now and then to remind you to stand in your power, to remind you to show your teeth, to remind you to keep going. They don't want you to be, they're not asking you to be violent or angry, but they're asking you to be ferocious and to validate yourself and to stand in your power. Keep both of your feet on the ground. This energy is saying that spiritually, you might scare a lot of people. And this might instigate egoic responses, fear responses, or projections of their own insecurity or lack of belief in truth. They're showing me somebody who has the capability to astrally project in front of a physical vessel who may or may not believe in astral projection, and that's honestly relative to the fact that it exists, and you're very much aware of this. You would be able to astrally project in front of somebody, and they will be able to see an apparition of you. And this might scare them. They're showing me an instance like this. It doesn't need to be exactly this, but it can be something similar, okay? This energy is very much aware of your strength, and they're very much aware of who and what you are in the ways that you maybe don't talk to people about. You might not even address all of your spirit guides in the same way. Queen of Swords and the Moon. This energy has seen every single piece of your soul. This energy knows what you have within you. This energy knows where you've been, light and dark. They know everything about you. And that's why when they're watching you be so sweet and cute and giving people the benefit of the doubt, they are applauding you for setting your boundaries. They're showing back up, and again, they're saying, show your teeth. Show your teeth more. Don't be afraid to show your hand. They're saying you can show your hand without sharing your truth, but never go against your truth. Don't be sneaky, but don't... What do you want to say? Don't be afraid to let people know who it is that they're messing with. Although, because it's what people don't know about you, or what they don't know about you, that scares them. You seem to be balanced. You seem to be powerful. You seem to have occult or hidden knowledge. And you do. This is true. And this comes from your truth. And this spirit animal, this childhood friend of yours, this imaginary friend, they know your truth. They were here to validate it when you were young. They helped you to rediscover and find it when you were young. They said, they were with you when you were a child, and they said, hey, calls you by name. And you were able to meet them eye to eye and know what they were speaking of. Now they check in with you every now and then to make sure that you're not feeling alone, to make sure that you're standing up for yourself, to make sure that you're standing in the fullest of your power and your truth and your potential, because you deserve to. Ooh, 66. Yep, the Lovers and the Six of Swords. Look at this. You've walked away from things that don't serve you. There are some large choices you've needed to make in your physical timeline with the Chariot in order to move on to something better. Ooh, with the 8 of Cups. We have 6, 7, 8. 66, unconditional love. Making the choice, making a small... Now, the Lovers indicates a big choice, right? But with the 6 of Swords, this is a small choice in comparison to a large outcome. Okay, and they're drawing my attention to this. My ears ringing very, very strongly. They're saying they want to talk to you. They want to talk to you. They want to look you in the eyes again. And they're saying, I'm hearing that song, Psycho by Muse, where he's like, show me your war face. And they're like, ah! Okay, this energy, this childhood spirit guide of yours, first of all, they love you so much. And they're like, don't forget who you are. As if you could forget. But stand in your power. Stand in your fullest power. They want you to show them your war face. They want you to look in the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes. And they want you to practice your piercing gaze. They want you to practice radical self-love, radical self-forgiveness, all of this beautiful, mushy-gushy, light, beautiful stuff. And without going into the darkness, they want you to look yourself in the eyes and remind yourself of your ferocity. We have the King of Wands and the Two of Wands. You are experiencing a spiritual awakening. And this is something that's been coming for you for a very long time. We have the Hermit, all right? They would like for you to do, they're saying specifically a journeying meditation, to connect with this energy. They want to take you somewhere. They want to show you something in the spiritual realm. This is a very specific message, okay? They want you to enter the spirit realm, meet them there, and they want to take you to a destination and show you something. But before you do, they want you to look in a mirror and show them your war face, okay? Now, they're saying this is nothing to be afraid of. This will meet you with love, meet you with kindness, meet you with gentleness. But wherever it is that they're taking you, you will receive utmost respect. But you need to know that you are worthy of that utmost respect before you are allotted to enter this realm or this place or this quantum section of the universe, okay? Again, re-enter. They're drawing my attention to the fact that you have recently stepped away from something that you knew didn't serve you, and you've gone back to time and time and time again, and you finally decided to move on yet again. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so you tried. We have 6, 6, 6. Okay, there's something about this energy, something about you, where you are able to see the light and the dark and the light, the yin and the yang. Like Chinese culture, maybe like Taoism, okay, traditional Chinese medicine, Qigong, something like this might be significant for you, okay? They're showing me like a Chinese dragon, okay, that can be maybe a form that this guide takes for you sometimes. We have an 8, they were showing me an infinity sign, okay, so maybe a dragon making an infinity sign, something like this. They're also showing me from Avatar The Last Airbender, Avatar Roku, and his like dragon guide, okay, so you might be connecting with like the Fae, the dragon realm. Even if you're connecting with the fairy realm, it might be like dark fairies. It could be like duendes or something that's a little more mischievous. But no, it seems this is something that has teeth. This is certainly something that has teeth, but it's also something that has your best interest at heart and knows that you have your best interest at heart, but that you, in this incarnation, you are loving, you are soft, you are feminine, you are wise, you behave like a gentle, nurturing, maternal elder. You are emotionally sensitive, you are compassionate, and so this energy is here almost to balance you out. And that's why they want you to go into the depths of your soul, the depths of all of your incarnations, and they want you to find that polarizing energy of yourself without stepping into your villain era, because we all know that is not healthy. So we have King of Wands with Death and Rebirth. Number 13. They're asking you to shed your skin. They're saying one last time. They're asking you to be prepared for this next leg of your journey. They're asking you to fight the good fight one last time. This time, all that's required of you is your presence. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to fight anything or anyone. Merely all that's required of you is your presence, but it needs to be your fullest presence and your fullest undivided attention. Now the Lion, the solar plexus, King of Wands, Death and Rebirth. This energy is saying that they, now I'll look at this in a linear fashion. Time is always existing. Like on top of itself, everything happens at once simultaneously, but time, we track it in a linear fashion, so I'll say past life, even though everything's simultaneously occurring, okay? Hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. But this energy is saying that they have helped you to cross over and find your vessel during a significant death of yours in another incarnation. This energy has led you through literal death. This energy has promised to help you to reconnect to something, someone. For some of you, this is a talisman. They're showing me like a sword. They're showing me an amulet. They're showing me a book. For some of you, it's a person. Okay, somebody you would have like died on a battlefield next to. For some of you, it's like I said, like a sword or a talisman, an amulet, or like a crystal ball. There's something out there. They're saying Horcrux, okay, like from Harry Potter. There's something that you feel magnetized to, but you need to go to it, because this doesn't seem like something that this is something you'll need to meet halfway, but you need to use your intuition and your radar in order to find it. This childhood guide of yours is reapproaching. They're saying they have shown you visions of this. You know what it looks like. You know what it smells like. Okay, interesting. You know what it feels like. You'll know what's it and what is not. Okay, they're showing me like a auburn colored hair, or like a orange roof, or like an orange building. Okay, so like a reddy orange kind of scarlet color will be significant here. They're also showing me the Merkaba with the Lover's card, and then these 2 chakras down here. Your inherent ferocity incarnated in your gentleness, and something else's gentleness incarnated as ferocity, this will be polarizing, also a trigger point. This will allow you to take the steps to magnetize the rest of the way, while this allows it to magnetize both sides, that say the talisman or whatever this is, and you will both magnetize each other to a certain extent and then take action to a certain extent. There is a perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy going on here. They're drawing my attention to Sagittarius and Virgo. We do have Libra and Scorpio coming out here, as well as Sagittarius again, but they're very strongly drawing me to Sagittarius and Virgo. This is something that is coded in the present moment, something of the future coded in the present. But you've experienced this time and time and time again. You are also technically experiencing it right now. This guide has helped you see through the illusion of time. This guide has helped you quantum leap. This guide has helped you to traverse time-space, and has guided you through the spiritual realms several times, in life and death, in your childhood now, and throughout several other incarnations. I'm hearing that Metallica song. It's like Master of Puppets. Okay. So what would you like to say to them, Group 2? They're saying, I'm on my way. They're saying that they're on their way to take you to something better. You might be feeling a little bit lost. Maybe not lost, but like you have just recently closed a chapter, and they're saying, walk you through the beginning of the next chapter. This guide cannot be with you all of the time, although they are. Spiritually, they want you to know that they're always with you. You can always call to them whenever you need them, but they will not always be in front of your face. This guide leaves when you do not need them and comes back when you do. They're showing me again that infinity sign. Okay, this guide is always with you. In a lot of ways, it is a part of you, but it must go away in order to come towards you, and vice versa. There's something here about this guide almost seemingly standing still or being in one place, and you transversing timelines or cycles or energies is what actually draws this towards you and away from you. It's like they're showing me a wheel turning, and there's one point with this guide, and as you process these cycles, you continue to reapproach this guide. So, this is interesting. Now, they're saying to me some things in Latin that I do not actually understand. So that could be significant, okay, for any reason. This seems like a very ancient guide, okay? I'm getting that, yes, you were physically incarnated in another time, space, life, whatever, together at some point, and they have been with you again. They would like for you to, they would like to guide you through the spiritual realm to show you two coexisting in the same realm, the same lifetime, at the same time, in the same realm together. And then they would like to take you to where they helped you cross over in the spiritual realm. There was a time where this energy is saying that they were wounded, actually, in another lifetime or something, and you either healed them. They're showing me like somebody getting wounded and you like carrying them off of the battlefield or something like this, and now they they owe you, and now they've been guiding you because of this, and they're saying, show them who you really are. Show them who you really are. You're so nice and sweet and fluffy. You're so feminine and gentle and wise and kind and nurturing, and they don't ever want you to change this, but they want you to assert yourself the way that they've seen you assert yourself before. There is a lot coming towards you, and they're saying you have a lot of what you might consider pipe dreams. This guide wants you to be more strict about yourself, about getting what you want. They want you to take more action for you and less action for others. They're saying you deserve to stand in abundance. And they're saying that you are a master of everything you pretend to be a beginner at. And this energy is saying that they've seen you master something time and time and time again. You were a master before you were a child. You were a master as a child. So now, you are no longer a child. Why are you pretending to be a beginner? Why are you surprised when you're correct? Why are you surprised when something works out? This is a little bit of tough love, but it is love. Let's see. Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, the Judgment. Okay. Do not be afraid of receiving what it is that you deserve. You are assuming the position of a student and a teacher, but there is nothing left for you to learn. This is giving me master healer who is taking a healing course. And they're like, This is giving me someone with a doctorate in rocket science, and you are going to Legoland pretending that you're confused as to how the Legos get put together. They're showing you very dramatic examples. Don't be afraid to assume your abundance. They're saying afraid you? They need you to dispel your fear. When you were a child, this guide showed you who you really were at a young age, or allowed you to jog your memory, is what they're saying. They will always be there for you, and they watch you throughout the different cycles. This guide connects to you through the moon somehow. Maybe every full moon they approach you, or maybe when the moon's in a particular sign, they approach you. I'm getting full moon energy very strongly here. Maybe you scry at the moon and you're able to see the face of this being, okay? This energy wants you to tap in with the fire element more. They're saying that you have such a grace about you that it's almost become your personality. And they're saying this is not a bad thing. They don't want you to change this, but it's like, they're showing me, I'll use this because it's always kind of a ready example for me, like a ballet dancer. And they're showing me how everything is so very hard, and you master it to a point where you make it look easy. You make it look graceful. When it takes true athleticism, millions of injuries, and a lot of pain and endurance in order to even make something look graceful. And they're saying that that is where you're at in your incarnation. They're saying they want to hear your battle cry. Don't be afraid to show your battle wounds. Share your story. Scream at the top of your lungs. Don't be afraid to show the world who you are and how you got to where you are. If anything, they wish to empower you. They do also wish to take you on a journey. This might, for some of you, be a vision quest. For others of you, this will be a journeying meditation. Most likely the second one. You can connect with them through the air element, and they want you to go back to utilizing fire. They're saying the amount of power and mastery that you have in a particular area of life is absolutely insane, and not to be afraid to unleash the fullness of your power. There is a lot of abundance coming your way, and you're aware of this, but there's something about tipping the scales or tiptoeing around a certain energy, or trying to be either shrink yourself or allow yourself to seem smaller than you really are. They're saying release this. The sooner the better. This energy wants you to stand in all of the hard work you've been through. They want you to wear every single moment that you've surpassed in every single lifetime. They don't want you to hide it away for nobody to see, or for yourself to know and others to guess. They're saying be proud of who you are, be proud of where you've been, because that strength that allows you to be graceful and gentle and emotionally calm and soothing, it's not because you don't have emotions, it's because you've experienced the worst of them. It's not because you haven't grown into ferocity, it's because you've needed to be ferocious to the point where you demand enough respect to never need to act that way again. This energy is quite literally saying, put yourself on a pedestal, stand back on your throne, It's time that you reemerge and show the world the true you. Do not be afraid. This energy is keeping any enemies or malintended energies far away from you at this point. They're saying if anything has approached you in a similar energy to that recently, it was this energy preparing you to re-approach it because they wanted to see whether or not you would show your teeth. This has nothing to do with a test of karma, a test of fate, or a test of your heart. It was merely a test to see if you remembered who you are. And they're saying that you have passed. They're saying thank you. They're saying this will not happen again. But also, never get off your throne again. That was intense. Wow. Group number 2, you are a powerhouse, and that's awesome. So this was from your childhood spirit guide / imaginary friend. They're saying there's... Okay. Yeah. This energy taught you your strength when the world tried to beat it out of you. That's for sure. And they allowed you to have very, very early awakenings in your childhood. This energy is not single-handedly responsible because they want you to give yourself the credit, but certainly if you set up an altar or you are grateful or say your prayers or anything towards any energy at all, definitely acknowledge this one. It does not require that of you, but certainly deserves it. Okay, so that was a channeled message from your childhood imaginary friend / spirit guide, group number 2. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. If this message helped you out in any way, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out my channel a lot, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for being here, and namaste. Hi there, group 3. Namaste, and thank you so much for being here today. Today we are taking a look at messages from your childhood spirit guide / imaginary friend. Now you selected this Untitled and the Bustard with confidence and number 18. So first and foremost, Untitled has to do with spiritual clarity and insight. This helps with premonition, intuition, and can also help you to open up your heart space, and is very useful in like heart-centered healing and aligning your chakras, your energy, and allowing yourself to gather data and information that's within your energy alignment, within your aura, within your pineal gland, so on and so forth. Now with the Bustard and the confidence, number 18 indicates that this spirit guide has helped you to understand and see things that were going on beyond the surface that were not necessarily overt and in front of your face. Now this childhood imaginary friend they love when you laugh. And with all of this solar plexus energy going on here, they absolutely love your belly laugh. There was like a giggle or a laugh and a cute little smile that you had when you were a child that this energy just absolutely loves, and they want to hear you laugh like that again. Now they're noticing, or they're showing me that there's some sort of next step that you're taking. There's something where you are bending in a particular area and standing confident. Now, there's something here where people don't actually see the amount of fortitude that you actually have. Notice that he's standing on one leg, but he's still standing tall and proud, and you almost can't even tell that this bird is standing on one leg. There is something here about your ability to persevere that your spirit guide wants to speak with you about today. Your ability to have clarity and understanding and move through righteousness is absolutely beautiful. In fact, there is a verse from the book of Daniel that says, those who act through righteousness will shine bright like stars forever, or something like this. Forgive me, it's not a direct quote. So your spirit guide is saying that whatever spiritual or religious or practice, whatever you had, your bhakti or devotion, something that you practiced as a child, this spirit guide was encouraging you and helping you find a safe space by going into your spirit and helping you to gather data and information and put little pieces together so that you could understand the world at large, the universe, things that were going on in your life, why things were going on. This particular guide was able to provide you with many, many insights that you would not have otherwise had. Now, they're saying birds of a feather stick together, and I'm definitely getting that you had a physical incarnation alongside this energy at some point in your journey. Now, your ability to find freedom in your expression of spirit, in your expression of self, is something that they want to draw your attention to today. You have learned how to put yourself first, and they're saying not the easy way. They're saying you've experienced many different phases of life. Take this however it resonates, but they're showing me somebody who has seen a little bit of everything. They're saying rags to riches, or maybe the other way around. They're saying that they have seen how much you've seen in this life, and that is what makes you unique and also very well-rounded. There's something about you that is able to relate to almost anything, everyone around you. And this might seem like a mystery to others, but the spirit guide sees you. They've seen all that you've been through, so they understand where you're truly coming from, because it's more than just one place. They'd like to draw attention as well to your gaze. If you practice a meditation where you close your eyes and you look at your third eye, your pineal gland, they would like you to keep it up, continue doing this. There's something that you do in your meditation practice or in your prayer practice, in your bhakti, that is very, very skillful and important. And they are saying not to underestimate yourself in the spiritual realm. They're saying I can pull the cards now. This is an interesting place to keep it. Look, you have the Six of Wands and the Hierophant, 5 and 6. Numbers coming one after the other. And, 10 of Pentacles slipping out. I will shuffle and pull these cards, but they're saying they wanted to show you that. Your intuition's been telling you about some sort of contract, commitment, success, victory. Knight of Cups in the World. And they want you to know that they were showing you this as a child. And now you are re-experiencing these premonitions or these visions, and they are here. They're saying they're coming back into your life. And the reason that they left is because they were guiding another energy towards you. 2 of Swords with the Empress. You were not seen clearly because you are very multidimensional, you're very multifaceted. And so your ability to seemingly create something out of nothing is very perplexing. You may be misunderstood or misjudged by many people. Many situations in your life. There's Hierophant again, really wanting to pop out. So the spirit guide is saying that as a child, you always knew that there was something or someone very special out there for you. Now, regardless of where you're at in your life now, there's something that seems to be late. Something you've been waiting for a very long time, and you kind of feel like you have been on the sidelines of the situation. 10 of Cups. They're coming back into your life to prepare you, for what it is that you really want. They actually want you to know that something you used to see or experience or find solace in as a child is about to be approaching your life. Now, this can be a person, place, thing, situation, or energy, so take it however it resonates, but you'll know. They're showing me a small child curled up in a ball, and maybe this child is either bored or they're upset or something difficult just happened, whatever this is, but you laying down in bed, either staring at a blank wall, closing your eyes, looking up into your third eye, something like this, but there was a place or a person or a situation or an energy that you were drawn to quite often as a child. And this energy drew you here, this spirit guide. They showed you your 10 of Cups. They showed you your wish fulfillment. They showed you the manifestations, the healing, the capability, and something and someone that would never misjudge you. Something or someone that would never want to harm you. Something or someone that would commit itself to you in the way that you want and deserve. They're saying no more settling for less. Now, this is really significant because we have 9, 1, 0, 1, 9, and then we have 8 again, 17, 8 with the star. There's definitely something going on here where you feel drawn to follow your intuition at all times. And you do. And sometimes this leads you through death and rebirth, through transformation, through happiness, through sadness, through all different colors of life. But you can walk through everything because you've already experienced every energy at least once throughout your life. And this isn't something that everyone gets to experience throughout the course of their entire life, let alone several times over just as a child. Now they're saying that I'm hearing The Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine, and they're saying that the hard days are over. It's time for you to experience truth, and if you've been praying for something, they're showing me her prayer beads here, her mala, or a rosary perhaps. If you've been praying for something, also this textile, if you've been trying to build something, work on something, or set an intention, perhaps in a prayer blanket or something like this energy is saying that this already has belonged to you. It always has, and they showed it to you when you were a child to help you get through some very difficult times. And that's why it was so hard to wait for this energy, but now it's time for it to enter your life. And that's why, yes, it was difficult to wait, but that's also why, at the same time, you want it so bad, and I've gone through phases of getting your hopes up. There's something here that sees your light and wishes to meet you halfway. And I'm getting this might be the first time in your life that you're experiencing this. Continue to know who you are, and don't stand down. But allow yourself to trust, allow yourself to have faith in who you are, and they're saying they understand why this might be difficult for you to trust somebody, to see them at face value, to trust them at face value, but the spirit guide is saying that you trust them, and they're the ones that drew this energy to you. And they're also saying that they guided this energy unbeknownst to you or this energy involved because they wanted to make sure that it fit you exactly the way that you deserve. Because again, the spirit guide has seen many, many aspects of your life that nobody else has, or that were disregarded, or perhaps times when you were discarded in your life. They want me to look at what's underneath the Hierophant, so I will. The Ace of Wands. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Pentacles. At the bottom, we have Two of Wands. Okay. This energy has been led through a spiritual awakening, thanks to this spirit guide. And your imaginary, or not so much, childhood friend wants you to know that it's not crazy for you to want things to work out in your favor. Things are supposed to work out in your favor. In fact, everything is working out in your favor. Just because the world that you live in is crazy, just because people are not always honest or loving or kind, does not mean that you are not. And you do get what you deserve. You do get what you give. And the spirit guide has watched this not be the case for you time and time and time again. And it's finally time for you, for your life to be absolutely transformed. Your life is going to be very unrecognizable soon. They're letting you in on this because they want you to appreciate where you're at, but also take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. They're saying they're almost giving you a moment of, they're saying organized chaos, so that you can stay busy, keep your mind off of things, but also simultaneously have a moment to decompress. There's something here about thriving through chaos, unfortunately, but finding this peace of mind, the calm in the center of the storm. They're saying that once the dust settles, you'll look at your life and it will not be the same. So allow yourself to acknowledge how far you've come, because this guide certainly does. Now, there's almost an energy where they almost feel bad looking you directly in the face, and they want to speak to you about, oh, you've been through a lot, especially as a child, and they had a very, very hard time watching you go through this because you did not deserve it. This was not your cross to bear. This was not your burden to carry. And there's something that happened where when you tried to speak up or when you tried to get help, you were either denied, discarded, or entirely ignored. And they're drawing attention to this. You did not deserve this. This was not your karma. There is nothing that your soul did or experienced to deserve it. And that's exactly why. When you were led down the spiritual path, your religious path, when you prayed, when you did past and parallel life regression, when you tapped in with your angels, spirits, guides, ancestors, your karma, all of this, you could not possibly find what you did in order to deserve this, because you did not receive what you've given. They're saying that there's some sort of energetic slip up, something misshapen, some sort of trick that was made in order to bring you down, because somebody else was avoiding their own tower moment, their own karma. And because of this, you're going to be doubly, quadruply blessed in this life. This is why your life will not look the same very much longer, and you will never need to struggle like this again. The fact that you've gone through what you've gone through, not only come out the other end, but are helping others go through what you've been through, is absolutely astonishing and phenomenal, and you did not have to do this. This is why you feel such a strong sense of devotion and inclination to help apart from your soul's mission. Because you are a loving person, because you don't want anybody else to be hurt the way that you have. And the spirit guide is coming through. I'm hearing Ooh Child by the 5 Stair Steps. Ooh child, things are gonna be easier. And they almost want you to tell everybody to, well, they're saying F off. Okay, I don't really want to say that. But they're saying you can tell everybody to F off and just go curl up in bed and go back to your happy place just for a moment. You don't need to be so responsible all the time. They're saying that they watched you, wow, for lack of a better term, not experience a childhood. And because you are now older, they want you to let your inner child free. They're saying that your inner child has done a phenomenal job at coping, at healing, at loving, and at having hope. And that's why the spirit guide came in at an early age, to provide you with spiritual clarity, understandings of the laws of the universe, so that you could know that there's no possible way that you deserved what you went through. And you continued to match with love, and look at this clarity, and it fell over the inner children. Now, this thing that you have daydreamed about since you were a child, this thing that was your happy space when your life was not happy, wherever you went when you were trying to escape your situation as a child, this is very much real. It is not a fairy tale, and it is on your doorstep. I'm hearing that song by Taylor Swift. I can't remember the name, but today was a fairy tale, I wore a dress. So there's something here about a wish coming true for you. If you used to wish on something when you saw the first star in the night sky every night, this is what's coming into your life. And don't be afraid. We have 1, 8, we have an 8, and we have 6 and 2, which is 8. Don't be afraid to allow yourself to experience the abundance that you deserve. There's also an 888 outside my window right now. You've closed out a lot of cycles, and they're showing me radishes or like parsnips, which is interesting. So I don't know if that resonates with any of you, or perhaps beets. I'm hearing Tear in My Heart by 21 Pilots. There's something here about you needing to be stronger than the average person, and you knowing this, and it's not a competition. Comparison is literally the thief of joy, but there's an indication of you looking at people walking through their life and not being able to stand up, and you not having that choice. You're almost looking at people experiencing pain as experiencing a luxury, because you never got to do that. You always had to be the bigger person, even before you knew what that was. And the spirit guide is saying that they can finally look at you now. They're showing me a veil, okay? So perhaps like a wedding or a marriage, or even like a first communion, or maybe this is significant in your culture. There's something like this that's coming through. They're showing me a veil, but like a physical veil that one wears over their head. They're saying that you've been, through your sight, in some way protected by always being able to see truth, and having, you've always been able to see truth. You've always been able to have clarity. And they are affirming that it's your time to shine, it's your time to experience pleasure, it's your time to experience happiness, good things. And there's a lot of crown, heart, and solar plexus energy coming out here. And they're saying these are your strong suits. This has always been the case. And that's exactly why people came in and they tried to test your faith. They tried to hurt your heart. They tried to squash your sense of self. You never deserved this. They're saying that there's something very significant about the family you were born into and the family that you were not born into. They're saying mix up or something, so take that however it resonates for you. Your soul knows where you belong. Your soul knows where you've always belonged, and you're going to be, they're showing me you're going to be put into the place that you belong. And you'll never need to deal with toxic or harmful energies of others ever again. There are particular energies that wish for you to follow them, and you do not wish to. Do not. The spirit guide is saying there's no reason in your life ever to do anything you don't want to do. You've learned this. You learned this the hard way. And so, you never ever need to do anything you don't want to do ever again. And I'm not speaking to somebody who is a spoiled brat. I'm speaking to somebody who has been pushed around, pushed aside, had their boundaries consciously disrespected and walked over for the merely for the sake of harming somebody else. And you don't deserve that. Therefore, you do have extra good karma in this life. You do have extra happiness. You do have extra abundance. You do have extra happiness in this life. So, allow yourself to experience the luxury of feeling again. This is something you likely did not get the pleasure of doing up until this point in your life. Likely you have been watching the rug get pulled out from underneath you any opportunity somebody had to do so. And this spirit guide of yours, this imaginary friend as a child, they were there for you because nobody else was. This likely was something or someone that was right by your side, somebody that you spoke to, somebody that you talked about your day to, somebody that you talked about your wishes and your dreams and your desires and your ideas. And likely this is the spirit guide or imaginary friend of yours that everybody would have told you, oh, don't do that, don't talk to them, that's not real, that's not healthy. Because this was the only energy in your life that was healthy, that was real, that was showing you the truth, that did love you. This energy is sending you a huge hug, and a little kiss right on the pineal gland, right on the forehead. They're saying you've built something phenomenal. They're saying it's beautiful to see how far you've come. And they're saying they'll never let go of your hand again. For a while, they needed to take off the training wheels so that you could do it on your own. And you did. And you have been for a while, and in fact, you put training wheels on other people. But now it's finally your time. It's time for you to experience happiness. It's time for you to travel. It's time for you to not allow the cycles and mishaps and wounds and damage of others to be imposed onto you. You're not a child anymore, and you've grown out of these energies. In fact, you've shown the way for other people to grow out of these energies, and the amount of happiness, luck, blessings, and abundance, fertility that's in your life now and for the rest of your life, it's going to astonish you. And you're going to have a lot of deja vu moments in the very near future. They want to draw your attention to this because if you're experiencing deja vu, they want you to go back to those moments as a child where you were locked in your room or sat in a corner or laying in your bed, curled up crying, in the bath, whatever this is, outside picking daisies, whatever it was that you were doing. When you were connecting with them and they were showing you this part of your life. And this part of your life was almost used as a spiritual band-aid, but instead of covering up a wound, it was showing you how to use energy transmutation. But the energy that you were drawing from, the energy that you were being shown, you're stepping into this part of your life. You're meeting these people, you're getting these experiences, you're going to be allowed finally to do this. And this energy is saying that they are so sorry for everything that you've been through. You never deserved any of this, and you knew that. That was the hard part. And they're saying finally, for once in your life, you have the luxury of allowing yourself to feel emotions. You have the luxury of telling somebody about your day. You're going to have the luxury of somebody asking you how you are. This might be new for you. This might not be something you've ever experienced before. And you deserve this, and you deserve so much more than this. This is why when you receive the bare minimum in different areas of life, you were absolutely appalled and blessed and happy and just so fulfilled that someone was even doing just that for you. And this spirit guide's heart broke over and over and over again watching this happen to you, watching you accept this, because it was not nothing and it was not harmful. Allow yourself now to experience joy. You have now healed, but they're saying it's safe to open up. And you will be experiencing deja vu, and they will be leading you towards different places, different people, different situations, sparking you with different forms of creativity and ideas, and you don't have to be so mission-oriented all the time. Your life does not belong to others. You do not owe anybody anything. In fact, you owe yourself love and joy and rest. So don't be afraid to open up to yourself. Know that you are worthy of love, you are worthy of happiness, you are worthy of all of the blessings and manifestations and wishes coming your way. Just because the people in your life wanted to cause harm to you, knowing that their intention was wanting to cause harm to you, that never meant anything was wrong to you, wrong with you as a person or as a soul. But there's something about your ability to heal, your ability to transmute energy, and your ability to awaken and see the truth and clarity, because for some of you, you may have turned to psychic and spiritual abilities or religion or spirituality as a survival mechanism. But this great awakening that you experienced as a child was larger than most will experience throughout the course of many lifetimes. And because of this, you have led a mass awakening through the entire collective, greater than you know, greater than you probably care to know, because that would require you to look at yourself and say, good job, I'm proud of you. You're amazing and you're beautiful and you're loved, and that is entirely foreign to you. Allow yourself to take time off. Allow yourself to wish for what you really want, what you really desire. Don't feel bad, don't feel silly, don't feel like undeserving. Know that your life is transforming right in front of your eyes. And I'm hearing Right Before My Eyes by Cage the Elephant. Right before your eyes, you saw the whole world lose control. But you didn't. You never did. So, luck is on your side. Your wishes are being fulfilled. And the spirit guide is saying that they want back in your life, if you'll have them. And they're saying that they're showing me somebody standing behind you, and you being maybe a little bit shy with your hands behind your back, your nose looking down at your shoes, and they're kind of behind you, just nudging you forward, egging you on a little bit until you stumble into this situation that you're a little bit shy to approach. Because this is your blessing. They're saying happily ever after. And I want you to know that you've done more than enough work. You've helped more than your fair share. You've done more than the mission that you came here to do, and you deserve more than you've ever received before. So don't be surprised if, in the near future, authentic love and gratitude and care comes into your life, and you have a lot more rewards for doing a lot less work and effort, because you compiled difficulties and burdens and efforts that didn't belong to you in the beginning of your life. So, this part of your life, people might look at you and think you hit the lottery. when in reality, they just haven't had the pleasure of knowing you all the way like the spirit guide does. They're saying you could write a book about all that you've been through, and even if you did, people likely wouldn't believe it, because half of one chapter is more than what most people experience in their whole lifetime. And this is part of the wonder of you. This is part of what makes you beautiful. This spirit guide wants you to look at yourself in the mirror today when you get a chance, and just tell yourself that you're beautiful and loved and amazing and perfect and deserving and worthy of all that you've ever wanted and more. The spirit guide has a gift for you, a blessing for you, and when your wish comes into fulfillment, please accept it. The spirit guide will give you a nudge. Likely you'll feel a little bit uncomfortable as you take that stumble step that it nudges you towards, but when you look up and you're looking your blessing in the face, fully embrace it, and it will fully embrace you in return. That was so beautiful, you guys. Group number 3, this was a channeled message to you from your childhood imaginary friend / spirit guide. And they love you so, so, so much. So much. Like, my heart is just overflowed right now. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation. And you are beautiful. And you are appreciated. And you are seen. You are deserving of everything that you've ever wanted and so much more. You beautiful, beautiful, strong soul. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Namaste.